Hello everybody, Starving Martian here, just getting over a nasty head cold, so please excuse my voice or lack thereof. But we are continuing our look at the Mars Attacks Archives trading card set from 1994. We already looked at the unpublished 11 cards too gory, horrific, or scandalous to be published in the original 1962 card set. So if you missed that, just click on the name, Starvin' Martian, find my playlist for the cards, and enjoy. But we're moving right along because the Mars Attacks Archive set was a really good set. It had the first 55 cards reprinted in a thicker, glossier format. I personally prefer the newer one from Heritage, which is more like classic, but whatever. It had the unpublished 11, and then it had two more subsets, which is the one we're looking at today, the ones based on the Topps comics, and also something called Visions, New and Original. We'll be looking at that later. All right, so there was a comic book miniseries put out in 1994 by Topps called Mars Attacks. It ran 5 issues long, and each issue had two covers. We're looking at one in the background now for Mars Attacks #1, and this is the card, which you can see is the exact same piece of artwork. Now each comic book had an alternate cover on the back to represent the backup story. There's a short backup story in each issue, and so there's actually 10 cards in this set for the comics. One for the main cover and one for the backup. Also, each of these cards features a bit of artwork on the back. This here is the cover of Mars Attacks issue #1 from the 4-part series published in 1988. I've done a review of these as well. Again, click on Starving Martian and find Mars Attacks comic books, and it'll be there. There we go. And so that's the first card of that set. Card number 67 altogether. So this would be card 68, showing the cover of Mars Attacks #2. And on the back is a picture from the Mars Attacks Topps comic book. Card 69, Mars Attacks #3. And let me just say that mosquito is not going to get any blood that way. You can see the little hole in the tip of its barb here where the blood should drain through. So she's not getting a meal to bring home to her young. It's very sad. Another picture on the back of the card from the inside of a Mars Attacks comic from Topps. This one showing giant ants. Card 70, the cover of Mars Attacks 4. And yet another picture from the Topps comics. Card 71, showing the cover of Mars Attacks #5. Nice Venusian standoff going on there. And then another picture on the back from the interior of the comic. Alright, so now we get to those backup covers, and I love the backup covers. I actually prefer them to the regular covers. This one here is awesome. In fact, when I put my comics on their backer boards, this is the side that I always have facing forward. There's like the old-fashioned artwork here. Nice painting. More interior art on the back. The backup story to this one was a retelling of destroying a dog. And the comic didn't really work for me. It didn't really. It followed the viewpoint of the dog. I don't know. It was just it just attempted things that didn't succeed in my own personal opinion. But this bit of artwork here is very nice. There's the Vatican in flames. This is 2 years before the Mars Attacks movie actually came out. Is a card showing Mars Attacks on film. So, did they know? Or were they just psychic? Or did aliens tell them? There's a nice face shot of one of the Martians. Here's card 75. I've never quite liked this card, just because this wound here looks very, I don't know, claymation to me. It looks like this woman is made out of Play-Doh, but I do like the Bazooka Joe T-shirt. That's cool. This is not the first, nor will it be the last Bazooka Joe reference. Actually, it might be the first. I think it is the first Bazooka Joe reference we'll come across in Mars Attacks, but it won't be the last. There's a pack. This big red eye. He looks into your soul and judges you and finds you unworthy. And finally, Mars Attacks Archives number 76. And as I said, this is 2 years before the movie. When I watched the movie, I assumed that they created the character of the Martian girl for the film, especially because shortly after I got my hands on a reprint series. It was probably the archives, but it was just the first 55 cards, and she was nowhere to be found in those. So I figured they made her up for the movie, but no, she was invented for the comic book. The Topps comic book created the Martian girl, the Martian spy girl in disguise here. You can see, the outfit's different. She's got the almost the same hairdo going on. And here's a picture on the back. I'm relatively certain that's not hamburger meat he's holding. Alright, and so that is the Mars Attacks Archives, the comics cards. Next time we'll delve into the Visions, new and original, most of which are actually really good. As I said in the last part, the Mars Attacks Archive set, if you're a Mars Attacks fan, is highly recommended. Personally, I wouldn't get the first 55 from Archives. Technically, they're better cards. They're thicker. They're glossier. They seem to be of a higher quality. I prefer the first 55 cards from Mars Attacks Heritage, which is on the same, brown backer and just more like the original card set. But it's a matter of taste. But everything after that, the unpublished 11, these comics, and the ones we'll be taking a look at shortly, are excellent cards, great bits of artwork, and I highly recommend tracking them down. They're not that expensive. I found mine on eBay. So, guys, this has been the Starving Martian. Hopefully, next time I see you, my voice will have fully recovered to its usual, manly state. Until then, we'll catch everybody later and keep watching the skies.